nothing. They're just brakes, I guess. It's not that cool. Oh, I actually need this stuff.
Guys, welcome back. Today we're installing brakes, but it's not on the Mustang. Yeah, it's on the Jetta. We're gonna install them on the Jetta. Let's go. All right, so this is Megan's car. We haven't yet talked about it very much on the channel, but look at it. It's a 2007 Jetta Wolfsburg edition, pretty sporty. It has a 2.5 liter inline 5-cylinder engine, which is kind of interesting as well. But more interesting actually is that we have not touched the brakes in quite a while. So today we're gonna be installing new brake rotors and pads and seeing if we can, I don't know, make it stop a little sooner, because right now it's a little sketchy. So let's get started on that. But before we do, I kind of want to show you around the car so you guys can see Black Beauty Jr. Let's go. So it's not perfect. We got a rust spot over on this corner. We got foggy headlights. We got some scraped up rims. And this is not all Megan's fault. This was done even previous to her ownership. But it has 200,000 miles on it. So mechanically though, it's been really reliable. We haven't had really any issues with it besides a pump we had to replace at one point. But I did that pretty cheap. And yeah, just basic maintenance. So we're gonna knock on wood, and maybe we'll do that right now because, you know, you start talking about this stuff and then bam, something happens. So, but today we're gonna get at the brakes on this car because it has been a while. Yeah, let's take a look at them. I'm gonna get the car jacked up in the air and we'll see what the old ones look like. Put on the new ones and pray it stops better. All right, car's jacked up, wheels are coming off. All right, so on the Jetta, we have some little plastic caps here that have to come off. So I'm just going to take a screwdriver and carefully take these out. You're just gonna kind of pull them out like this. If you have a little pick, that works even better. But these will usually come out just like that, down there. And we wanna make sure not to scrape the wheels because these are pretty pristine. So don't wanna scrape it up or anything like that, and make sure you're really safe when doing this. So I'm gonna do the rest of them, and then it's time to take the lugs off. Well guys, if you look at this, this is a rotor and pad that have seen some better days. Look at this, man. Woo! Starting to eat itself alive. Yeah, so anyway, wheels off. We're going to start disassembling here. Okay, so I just kind of took a screwdriver to the spring there and worked it off, and that's laying down there now. And then there's gonna be two caps over this, these two little bolts here. There's one there, and then one on the bottom. Those are T47s, so we're going to take those out right now. So make sure you have a Torx 47 to do that. Brake caliper is off. I have it hanging up here. You can see on the top of the spring there. I just have it looped around to try to mitigate any sort of excess pressure here on the brake line. So yeah, I guess the next step here is to get this part of the caliper off. So we're gonna go behind here and you'll see one right there, two 21mm bolts that we're gonna take out right now. And that'll let this piece come off, and after that we're gonna take off this little screw here that kind of retains the rotor on the hub. All right, we put one lug in, so when we hit this thing off here, the rotor doesn't just fly off. So that's the idea anyway. But we will see if that works. Now it's time to bring out a little hammer here, and we're gonna hit around here to see if we can get this to come off. Hopefully it's not too on there, but we'll see. I think we could probably hit from this side if we had more room, but unfortunately we're gonna have to probably go around it, so. All right, we're gonna try a little bit more of an aggressive method. Be right back. See, here on Daily Driven, we're not just gonna show you the perfect product, the perfect install. We're gonna show you all the nitty gritty stuff. Like when a rotor doesn't come off like this. In all the videos, you know, they're like, oh yeah, just hit it twice and it'll fall off. But that's not how real life works, folks. So we're gonna hit this thing till it comes off. I might have to time lapse this, I'm not 100% sure, so Jesus. We'll be back in a few minutes once it's off. I don't think you guys want to see me bang on this rotor for 30, 40 minutes, whatever it'll be. So I'll be back.
A few moments later.
We got it! Guys, we got it. After about 8 hours of banging this rotor with a hammer, I got it. No, it wasn't quite 8 hours, but Jesus, man, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe? And then I just got kind of mad and hit it harder and it came off. So that's why you keep one of the lugs on, because it came off, but you see it's retained. Pro tip. Not really pro tip, just a tip, I guess. Let me get that off and we'll show you guys the new rotors. How about that? Jesus, guys, look at how much rust there was in there. Oh my God. Wow, look at that. Yeah, I think that's your problem right there. No, seriously, man. That was a decent amount of rust in there. Anyways, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit and then we'll put the new rotor on and move on to kind of reassembling with the new pads. That's pretty much all there is to this. All right, so we just got done cleaning this up a little bit with a wire brush and a drill, and sprayed it down with a little brake clean here. So it's not perfect, but we got some of the rust off of there, so I feel better about it. Then over here, there's a turbo from my old GTI that I'm gonna make into like some sort of decorative piece, but that is not what we're talking about. Right here, we have the new rotor. And doesn't this thing look good? Dang. Well, I can't do it with one hand. Seems like every YouTuber's problem is they're trying to film and take this stuff out of boxes and bags. And there it is. So, yep, that's gonna probably work a little better. And these guys are just the, you know, the ones off, the premium ones from like AutoZone or whatever, CarQuest. So these aren't anything fancy. If you guys really want some fancy stuff on your Jetta, on your Black Beauty, or ECS Tuning is a great place to go. I used a lot of their products on my GTI that I had last, so I 100% support them. But yeah, we didn't go that route for this. Just keeping it cheap. What we're gonna need to do is compress this this piston in here. Now they sell and they rent little brake caliper, I guess the piston tools there that you actually just kind of work into this space here and turn a little ratcheting mechanism basically, and it will collapse this piston down. You can rent these at AutoZone. I just didn't, and so one other way you can do this is by putting the brake pad back in or leaving it in to begin with, and you know, you could get something on this side if you have a little nicer caliper you're working with and you don't want to scratch it or anything like that. But then you just get yourself a big pair of these adjustable pliers here. Nice. I guess, I'm sure there's another name for it. But you can go right on the edge here, and you go kind of somewhat in the middle of the used brake pad, and you just apply a little pressure, and you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, but I can see the piston moving down. So we're just gonna keep doing that until it's actually compressed. So pretty easy way, and that way you don't mar up the actual piston because you're using that old pad, right? So, and once it gets a little bit too low there, we can go in here and we just keep collapsing it. And there we go, we are fully collapsed. So, it might look a little scary, might look a little weird, but it works. And you don't have to rent the tool. But if you feel more comfortable renting the tool, by all means do it. It's very easy to use, to be honest. So, and I've done it in the past, but this time it's gonna fight me, obviously. This time I was kind of lazy, so we did it that way. All right, next we're gonna take a look at the actual brake pads. I also have this stuff here, which is a good idea for you guys to pick up. It's just some brake grease. And so we're gonna just lubricate the backside of the pads here a little bit of where the piston's gonna come in contact with these. And that'll just help to ensure that we don't get, you know, everything glides smoothly. We don't get any excess noise. So we're gonna do that as well. All right, so we have a little bit of grease here on the backside of the pad. We don't have very much. You don't need that much. It's just a little bit for when this is seating. There. It's important you don't want to get these on the front face. This on the front face of the brake pad. Otherwise, you won't be stopping very quick until that burns off. You might even ruin the brake pad. So be careful. So we're gonna put this in the caliper now. All right, so I'm gonna torque these 21 millimeter bolts in the back here, holding this part of the caliper on. You gotta tighten them down to 90 foot-pounds of torque. So I'm gonna see if I have actually enough room to do this with my digital torque wrench here. I hope I do. Okay. Perfect. All right, guys, that is it. We have the rotor installed with the new pad and new spring there, as you can see. Those T45s were torqued down to 30 foot-pounds. And then the 21 millimeter bolts on the back, those were torqued down to 90 foot-pounds, just in case you missed it earlier. Those are the torque specs. I usually put on the lug nuts at about 95 foot-pounds as well for these cars. The Mustang takes like 150 foot-pounds, you know, normally. With the spacers, I run a little bit less than that because I don't know about that. But yeah, otherwise we are good to go here, guys. I'm gonna do the other side because I don't think you guys need to see me struggle with the other side as well. I think you pretty much get the gist here. That's how you do it. Same thing on the other side. So once it's all done on the other side, I will get the wheels on and we will show you what it looks like. So leave it to the driver's side, guys, to have the 21mm bolt holding the caliper bracket to the hub. It's giving me some problems. So I tried first with wherever it is, my impact, which this thing's rated for like 450 foot-pounds, which should be able to break that free. It didn't. So now we're gonna move to a little heat. Well, we did PV blast it first, and that didn't work. So I guess now we're gonna try to heat this up and see what happens. Let's pray to God this works, because there's a lot of rust under here. Okay, so I ended up getting it. I broke out the pry bar here, and I was worried I was gonna snap that sucker in half, but it did not happen. So I just got it out, and unless there's any other interruptions, like that little pesky bolt there, I'm just gonna fly through this side here, and then afterwards, if it's too dark tonight, I'll show you guys in the morning here what everything looks like, obviously put back together, and we'll wrap up the video. You can see that, man. Look at them, nice and shiny. It's the way they're supposed to be, brand new. Brand new. Well, guys, it's the next morning and we are finished. Brakes are done on the little Jetta here, and it turned out just fine. I'm gonna be bedding them in today and just overall kind of testing them. Hopefully they're good. I'll give you guys an update on that. I won't bore you in this video. I know this video is getting long enough as it is, but I really appreciate you guys tagging along for this one. Hopefully it helps someone out there if you guys have one of these cars. But if not, I hope it was entertaining at the very least. With that being said, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye.